a day and age where a lot of guys want a woman to chase. I don't know if y'all seeing it, sis. I don't know, you watching this. I don't know if you see it, but we live in a day and age where men are not really the pursuants anymore. Men are looking to be the prize. Men are looking to be the ones that you come after, that you have to try hard for, that you have to keep the conversations going with, that you have to prove yourself to. I'm here to tell you something as your big bro. Like, don't chase that man. No, don't chase him. Replace him. Replace him. I said it. I don't care who get mad. Because if you don't replace him and he's trying to make you chase, if you don't replace him, he's going to replace your self-esteem, your self-worth, your value, your understanding of your value with how he sees you, with a lack of self-esteem, with low self-worth. If you don't replace him, he's going to replace all the things in you that make you special and that make you compatible with a man that truly loves you. Do not chase that man. Replace that man, sis. Don't feel like you owe him some type of loyalty, or you owe him some type of protection to his ego, that you never upgrade after him. Because a lot of y'all be thinking that if you move on quickly or move on at all from a man that mishandled you in some way, that reflects on you not being as invested as you claim to be. At least that's what guys will do to try to turn it around on you. So a lot of y'all would delay you're moving on into the next chapter because you don't want to look like you never cared in the beginning. Go, look, replace that man. Now, I'm not saying make sure you go get you another dude. By all means, do if that's what God puts in you. Ready for that, but I'm not saying that. And I need men to understand, like she don't need another man to replace you. Like a woman that's really down for you, loves herself, a grown, mature woman does not need another man in order to replace you. She'll still replace you. But a woman will replace you with her peace. A woman will replace you with the money that she was giving you, that you was using her for. She'll replace you with, income goals now being achieved. Like everything that you were taking from her, she will replace you with the restoration of that and the protection of that. Real with you. Don't think that just because, you feel like you taller than the next man, got more money than the next man, you can't be replaced. Look, she'll replace you just with her solitude, her singleness. That was an upgrade from the relationship that you was able to create with her. Let me see. You said, I need to know. Rising Phoenix says, I need to know how boys make us chase them. Great question, Rising Phoenix. So first off, you need to understand that the chasing doesn't just happen in the dating stage. A lot of people think, oh, chasing happens whenever he first comes. I'm not chasing him. He's the one setting the dates. Be very mindful. A lot of relationships, or have been in relationships, where the man had you chasing him in the relationship. At any point in time, this is one way, Rising Phoenix, that a man will make you chase him. Having you carry the relationship, having you carry the conflict resolution, having you constantly being the one that's got to initiate conflict resolution or repair in a relationship, having you be the one that's got to ask him all the time when y'all are going to spend time, be the one dang there begging for quality time made for you, not spared for you. That's a man that's got you chasing. Always nonchalant, always neglecting, putting everything else before you, and not just before you, but putting it before you. And then by the time he gets to you, there's nothing really left for you. That's the man that has you chasing. The man that always tells you what you're doing ain't good enough, finding something to be critical about all the time. That's the man that's got you chasing in the relationship. Let me be very clear. I'm gonna learn you something. When a man is overly critical, what he's got you chasing is his approval. So in everything that you do, you scan before you even say, do I like this? Does this align with me and what I'm trying to accomplish in life? Before you do, he already got you thinking twice, strictly based on what he's inserted as doubt into whether or not that's valid without his approval. Therefore, now you're chasing him for that approval. Rising Phoenix said, ungrateful? Yes. Absolutely ungrateful. But guys, they're so insecure, and I'm not saying all men. Let me be very clear. I'm high up on alpha males who do not fit into this category. Let me say that again. There's a group of men who do not fit into the category that I'm speaking on right now. And I consider those men alpha males. But You know, like I know, while all men may be created equal, all men don't move equally. And those men who don't move equally to the alpha males need a certain level of power over a woman in order to feel sufficient and confident and secure in a relationship because they're insecure within themselves. They're insecure within themselves. And so what they'll do is these different manipulative games, overly criticize you, try to get you dependent on him, you name it. Anything to basically get power, put themselves in a position of power because they don't walk in power as it is. Alpha males do. These types of guys don't. So a man will try to make you chase him. And then let's just bring it back to the dating scene. A man will try to make you chase him by being very inconsistent with the phone calls, the efforts to connect. So now you feel like if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. And therefore, you're going to miss out on this chance to be with this guy or this relationship that ain't even a relationship yet. Dudes try to get you to chase, puts the ball in their court. Again, soothes their insecurity, strokes their ego, makes it creates in you a relationship that he's building with you to be something that's low effort and strictly in convenience. So it never elevates to a commitment. You see, in a commitment, there's going to be sacrifice. There's going to be real investment. But when it's convenience, it's like, I'll get to it when I get to it. When it feels good, then I'll get to it. Only for what benefits me. I don't care what benefits her. So do not chase a man. When you chase a man, that's what you do. You file yourself into that convenience folder. I'm not saying that, like the guy is just malicious and horrible. I'm saying don't play yourself. Like, if put it like this, if y'all got an agreement that y'all are each other's conveniences, cool. Neither one of y'all really prioritizing each other. Neither one of y'all trying for something serious. That's your business. Y'all grown. All is fair in love and basketball. But if you've made it clear what your intentions are, or you are clear within yourself that you want something real, you want family, you want legacy, you want long term, you want marriage, you want covenant, you want vows, you want a joint bank account, you want businesses, you want something real, you cannot deal with somebody who is so fake within themselves. They'll take your real love and pervert it into something that you regret later on because they wanted you. I want to see. I'm looking here. Am I making sense to anybody? Put facts if I'm speaking facts. Let me know if I'm speaking fiction, if I'm lying. I don't have a problem with that. Melanie said, I love your lives. Yeah, much love. But make sure I put this here because I mentioned the alpha males and I did the masterclass on secrets to attracting alpha males only, by the way. So I don't know how many of y'all got access to that. I'll put the link one more time. I don't know why it's not showing up. On Facebook, it should be somewhere at the bottom. If you don't see it, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't even see it, but too bad. I'll put it in after this. It should be in the caption as well, the title. But men who try to make you chase, tip short-term tensions with you, or they have long-term torture waiting for you. They either have short-term intentions, meaning right now, things are going to be good. Right now, things are going to be cool. Yeah, dates and sex and conversation and all that kind of stuff. When you initiate it, when you chase them down, when you beg for it, when you show distress whenever it's not happening, sure. Or they do have long-term intentions with you. And it's to play in your face over and over again. It's to siphon out your spirit, your energy, to where they can have you long-term. There's actually a situation going on right now with a very, very, very public figure who basically had this woman. I want to be sensitive to this because this is really dark, but he had this woman in the palm of his hand for 10 years. You see, so many times we talk about a man who got short-term intentions versus long-term intentions, and we immediately equate long-term with good. Y'all, sometimes a guy does want you for the long term, but to play in your face for the long term, to walk all over you for the long term, to use you for the long term, to betray you and lie to you for the long term, to control you for the long term. You say he's not easily replaced. I'm super picky now. Let me be very intentional with my wording because some of y'all are just coming in. But when I say replace a man, please don't think you got to go get you another man. Your happiness and fulfillment should not center around any man. Of course, a man can add to that. Of course, you can have family goals achieved with a man. Of course, it's great to want love and connection, to desire that, to yearn for that. I'm not saying no problem with that. We in the same boat, sis. Like, I'm with you. But don't think that just to replace a man, you gotta go get somebody else. When you're replacing a man, you're looking at all the things he's doing to tear you down or to hold you back or to slow you down or to block your blessings, to frustrate you, to embarrass you. You're looking at all of that and you're intentionally saying, I choose better for me. And I'm now also accepting you can't provide. I'm choosing better and I'm accepting and acknowledging you can't provide. I'm doing it in action form. That's the replacement. You go to a restaurant, you want a steak. Let's just say you want a steak. They all out of steak, though. They all out of steak. Okay, they can't provide that, but you still gonna get your steak. You ask them if they got any coming in. You ask them if they can go across the street, get some from Publix or whatever to get some. No, they can't. You didn't ask, you didn't communicate it. You're in the right spot. Now, you don't necessarily have to go to another restaurant. You can go home and make you some steak. You can go home and make you some steak, but you're going to replace. Now you need to replace the restaurant because you still want the steak, right? Same thing goes for your happiness, your peace, your fulfillment, your love and connection. A person who motivates you, who inspires you, who teaches you things, who considers you, who thinks about you, who protects you. You don't have to get that from another man. Now, I do believe that if you position yourself effectively, that's exactly what you're going to receive in due time. But I really want to hone in on this because I don't want anybody within the sound of my voice waiting on another man to get the toxic man, Mr. Wrong, out of the picture. I don't want you waiting on on another man before you free yourself from that burden, from that curse that you've been trying to love on. Like he doesn't exist. My price went up, my value. Thank you for the lesson. Oh, absolutely. And somebody said, oh, can I get him to mature was the question I really wanted to move on into. Can you get him to mature? Says Rising Phoenix. No. This is a simple answer. I don't like beating around the bush. No. You can't get him to mature. It's not your job to get him to mature. The longer you even contemplate how to possibly get him to mature, the longer you're delaying the man that comes in already grown, fully grown, already assembled. Not you got to put him together, put batteries in and everything else. He's already there. The longer you even contemplate if you can get him to do this and get him to do that. I'm just keeping it real with you, sis. If that's the problem. You know, if you're dealing with a grown man, let's just go to it. Like I said, I talked in depth about this on my last master, on my more recent masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. A part of that was identifying the alpha male, dealing with one, understanding one. He's not perfect. Alpha men are not perfect. But what happens whenever you bring issues to an alpha male, his heart posture is not going to be survival mode for him. It's not going to be defensiveness. It's not going to be control. It's not going to be an unawareness of what he might be doing wrong or unwillingness to acknowledge he might be doing something wrong. His heart posture is going to be to protect you. Well, pride got to, if he don't quite get it, he's got to ask you the right questions or go and consult somebody that can hit him to what you might be trying to say, because his ultimate goal is to make sure you are the properly loved version of yourself, because alpha males understand a properly loved woman becomes 10 times the woman that she was before. And with that woman being 10 times the woman that she was before, there's 10 times the fruit in that alpha male's life that now pushes him towards his purpose. Alpha males are very purpose driven. Again, I talked about this on the free masterclass. So I've been following you, D, for a while. Thank you. So can you get him to mature? There's so many no's in that question. Rising Phoenix, I don't even know where to start, but hopefully that answered your question. But back to what we was talking about. Do not chase him. How to replace him though? Replace a man starting with everything that you came in presenting him with that you needed in order to be fulfilled. Maybe you didn't say it on day one, but at some point you said, I'm only interested in a man that does X. I'm only interested in a man that has the capacity for Y. I'm only interested in a man that's able and willing and intending and persistent in creating, co-creating with me, Z. Like whatever it is. Look at those things. Look at what you would get from those things and immediately decide how you're going to get that for yourself. That means as you now accept that he can't deliver, he can't step up, you got to move him out the way. Replace him. Move him out the way. Now, why is it so important to replace him instead of just getting rid of him? Because whenever you just clean out the house of all the bad, it's still empty. You got to replace it with something good, or else what's bad may come in and try to leverage that void that's there now. Because even if you move the bad out, the void still hurts. Don't leave a void. You want a loving connection. You wanted to travel the world, right? Go travel the world. You wanted to be around circles and be in community with people that had you laughing, had you thinking deeper about things. Go get that. That's still available. Now, I'm not saying that the romantic fulfillment should just automatically just go away. No. But if you can replace that man for doing right, it makes the weight, it makes the path towards the part that only he could do, that he still didn't do right. It makes the path towards the man that can a lot more bearable. Not only bearable, it might make it enjoyable. You say you can't even have a simple conversation with a lot of guys these days? Oh, yeah. The insecurity is too loud. You know, a lot of y'all, whenever you start talking to a man, the first thing he hears is your level of confidence in yourself, your level of self-belief, how much you've been consistent in what it is that you're pursuing in life. And if he's an insecure man, all of that threatens him. Y'all be thinking y'all intimidating men, and you are, but you're intimidating weak men. You think you're pushing men away? You're really pushing away weak men. In the first 30 seconds, so you try to have a conversation, all of a sudden, you know, it's like the alarm. Y'all ever had a fire alarm go off in your building or your house or something like that? It's just, it's too loud. They can't even hear you. So now things ain't making sense. Now he's defensive. Now he's accusing you or wanting to change the subject to something sexual, something more along the level of his competence. But a lot of y'all, you don't even know, you don't know your own, like your light. Y'all don't know. Y'all project so much of your light onto these bums. I'm gonna keep it real. Mental and emotional bums that they seem brighter than what they are when the whole time the real magic is you. And then the real reverse psychology is whenever they put you in a position where you feel like they're the prize. Like they're the blessing. Of course they should be, but if anything, y'all both should be a blessing to each other. Do not chase that man. Replace that man. If you've made it clear what it is that you need repetitively, I'm not telling you to jump ship the moment that the man shows that he has a flaw. I'm not telling you to just leave him alone the moment that he fails or, you know, is not quite up to par. I'm all for communicating. A man can't read your mind, all that kind of stuff. But know the difference between a man can't read your mind and this man is able to play games with your mind. There's a thin line between that. Because sometimes it ain't that you asking him to read your mind. You just asking him to listen to what you're saying and stop trying to see things from his own perspective, from his own hidden agenda, from his own wounds, childhood trauma he never dealt with, whatever he might blame it on, and listen to what you got to say. A lot of y'all communicate just fine. Hey, I'm interested in consistency. Hey, I'm interested in dates that, you know, a little effort went into, even if it's not an expensive date. Hey, I'm interested in full transparency. If we're gonna be doing this or doing that, we're going to hang out with our friends till 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I'm interested in transparency. I'm interested in accountability. If you do something that hurts me, I do something that hurts you. We talk about it. We acknowledge our part. We may be verbally apologize, and then we set forth on how we're gonna avoid this going forward. I'm interested in this. That y'all communicating just fine. I'm letting you know now. That's not a different language that men are not capable of understanding. That's a different frequency than what an insecure man is capable of connecting with, though. That's the frequency of a man that wants you to chase and pursue him. It doesn't work for a confident woman. That's why the clash is there. That's why when you're with a man like that, it feels so inauthentic. And what you might do is, because you're not certain on how to put it into words, you might let that man overstay his welcome. But the whole time, you cannot deny this ain't it. There's something that feels empty about it. There's something that feels incomplete about it. That's the incomplete part. Your frequencies are mismatched. You see, in your singleness, you do all of this work, you heal or you work on healing, you establish who you are, you go after what you want and all that kind of stuff. You build a friendship circle, a networking circle, you advance in your career. You do these things that vibrate at a certain level, but then you get with a man and you give him all this benefit of the doubt that he does not deserve. And that's where the clash happens. That's whenever your life starts taking a hit. That's when your focus starts taking a hit. That's when you start having mental health issues and focus issues and peace issues and sleep issues you never had before. That's when your weight start going up and down. And then if you make him the constant and all of the things that you wanted out of a relationship, the variable, you chase that man. When I'm telling you, replace that man with the things that you wanted. If you don't chase anything, chase the things that you wanted, not the man. Once he shows that separation between him and everything that you need to be fulfilled, and that it's permanent and that you can't do nothing about it, it's time to let the man go and go get the things that you were looking for. The connection, the growth, the happiness, the fulfillment. Am I making sense to anybody? And again, don't get this twisted like, oh, I'm not even dating no more. I'm in a relationship, so I ain't got to worry about chasing him. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. The worst situation to be chasing a man is in a relationship. You see, in the dating phase, y'all don't know each other yet. You may have some expectations, and I'm not really a big fan of you having expectations. I say high standards, zero expectations. But you ain't got your heart invested. See, in the dating phase, it's a lot less collateral. In the relationship, and there's a lot of long-term relationships today where the woman is chasing the man. That's whenever you've been presented with something, you've been hooked by something that has your heart now invested. And if it really goes deep, it may have children invested. It may have your finances invested. You may have moved across the country for this man. And now the chase happens at a deeper level. The entire time that you're chasing him, you're inheriting the narrative that you're not good enough to be met halfway. I'm not saying he should be just chasing you now, but you're inheriting the narrative. You're imprinting the narrative. You're allowing this narrative to become a part of you, that you're not worth reciprocity. I want to make this clear for the woman that's in a relationship now, and you keep going to your friends with the same complaints month after month after month. Maybe he take a 2 or 3 month hiatus from doing that thing, but then you come right back. You're chasing, sis. Don't chase that man. Replace him. And no, not with another man. Replace him with your peace. You got the same complaints. You got the same unmet needs. If you're in a place where you're trying to find a way to tolerate what he will not deliver that you know that you need, you're trying to adjust the needs to his incapacity, you're chasing. You know that man is not doing it for you. Even in the bedroom, he ain't doing it for you. So now you're trying to work around that and just be satisfied with frustration at the end of the night or all through the day. Replace that man. And maybe the replacement isn't the need being met right now, but any upgrade to him can be the replacement. Again, not another man. I'm not saying, but maybe it is a season of celibacy. Maybe Better than getting your hopes up just to get disappointed. Better than him getting started just to leave you the one that's got to finish the job. If we talking the physical part, let's keep it all the way real. We grown. You have decent conversations. There are other places where there are mental stimulation. There's mental stimulation waiting for you. There are other people capable of connecting with you at an intellectual level. You don't have to depend on that man. You don't have to depend on that man for stimulation. Again, you can still hold space for what it is that you want while maintaining an intolerance for anything less than that. Replace him with your peace. Since he want to bring in insecurity, because that's what he's trying to replace in you. He's trying to replace your security, your standards. Anytime a man start telling you your standards are too high, you want too much, you this, that, and the other. That man is trying to replace your belief in what it is that you know that you deserve with his low standards, his shortcomings, because he can't deliver. I hope I'm talking to somebody. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody. Because if you've ever been in that situation where a man wanted you to chase and you just could not do it for long or at all, like you just could not bring yourself to play that cat and mouse game, like at some point the frustration was just too much and you preferred to be alone. If that's ever been you, like you never could just acclimate down, or maybe you even tried. Tell her now. That's the signal that you're only going to build in a romantic capacity by an alpha male. You can only deal with a man who has, if he's ever dealt with insecurity, has already confronted that, challenged that, acknowledged that, and gotten rid of those insecurities. A man who can manage his ego. A man that whenever he says he desires you, he's not scared to be assertive in that situation and letting it be known through his actions that he desires you, that he wants time with you, that he wants connection with you, that he's attracted to you. He ain't got you chasing him. Now, is he going to chase you while you run away? No, I'm going to be real with you. Alpha males are not going to chase you while you run away, sis. Let's be real with you. But what alpha males will never have you wondering is where you stand in their life. Alpha males will never have you wondering where the relationship is going. In the very first 2 or 3 conversations with an alpha male, you're going to have a very clear understanding of what this man's purpose is and what you as a woman can possibly do to integrate into that. Y'all may still be in the talking stages, but with an alpha male, the vision is going to be so clear. It's already made up. You're not building the man from the ground up. He already comes built. He just says, at this throne, there's an empty chair here. And this is what the kingdom looks like. A, B, C, and D. And the kingdom don't include just what you do for him. For an alpha male, it includes how he can pour into you. It's clear. It's so clear that even in the beginning stages, you can see the steps towards that. If you ever dealing with a man and it feels like you in a merry-go-round, or you feel like you're in a gray area, you don't know what's coming next, et cetera, you're not dealing with an alpha male. This is why I'm so clear. If you're a woman that must have certainty or a definitive understanding of exactly what's going on in the dating, you can only be equally yoked. You can only be fulfilled by an alpha male. Now, some women, y'all ain't on that. Some of y'all, you cool, just kind of playing along or whatever, just going on dates and talking and not knowing what's what for months at a time. Cool, I'm not judging you, but this ain't for you. You wouldn't do well with an alpha male at all. But those of y'all who thrive in certainty, who thrive in clarity, who thrive in structure, not in the way of being like a tyrant and having no flexibility to be spontaneous in life, but structure in terms of, hey, I'm not doing this dating and just talking thing for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Like I'm looking to lock this in 100% in the next 2, in the next 1. I'm looking to be married by this time, or at least no later than this. Like I definitely want children, or I definitely don't want children. I definitely want a business, or I definitely want to travel the world. Like if that's what you thrive in as a woman, you cannot entertain anything less than an alpha male. So he was talking that talk, but walking that walk. Yeah, that's a miscomment. That's a man that doesn't have enough value on even his own word. Alpha males, they put a ton of value because they know a man is only as good as his word. Oh yeah, I broke this down for those asking about the alpha male masterclass. I broke this down in the masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. So for those of y'all who feel like you are right for an alpha male, you've done the work or you're doing the work, but you don't know exactly how to recognize one. You don't know where they at or whatever. I'm guaranteeing you, if you live anywhere where there's a population above 50, there's an alpha male somewhere in the vicinity. You just have to know the strategies to exude the authentic part of you that connects with an alpha male, from the conversation to presentation to long term. Now, I know that sounds really deep, but I made it really simple in the masterclass. And I did it for free, by the way. So for those watching on Facebook, it's right here. For those watching on YouTube, you might just have to go to the channel description and wait till after we're done. I'll put it in the description of this video. The free masterclass I'm referring to. An hour I went in on how to attract alpha males only so that you shut off everybody else that comes to waste your time with anything less. AKA trying to get you to chase them. AKA trying to get you to fix them. AKA always playing dumb. Because they ain't as dumb as they play. But they like to play dumb. Like you dumb. I told him I wanted to marry. He's still lying. Replace him, Chantel. Replace him with the certainty that either you single and you don't have to have that expectation swirling around, that little carrot dangling of a marriage that's never going to happen. And or you're entertaining other men and opening yourself up to other men that have not burned that bridge of trust by saying one thing and doing another. Replace him. Again, when I'm saying replace, y'all, I'm not saying go get another man. You don't need another man. But you do need your peace. You do need your respect. You do need your peace of mind. You do need your mental health. Full potential. Time that you can't get back. So moral of the story is this. If a man got you acting like he's the prize, and the whole time he's an empty box, throw him in the trash where he belongs and get what you deserve. Yeah, I said it. If you agree with anything that I just said, all I ask that you be a vessel of the truth, man, and share this conversation for somebody else who may be blessed the same way that you got blessed. You hit the share button. If it's somewhere over here, it takes 2 seconds. Like if you could help somebody change their life potentially, and it took you 5 seconds and cost you nothing, would you do it? If so, hit the share button because that's exactly what that does whenever you do it. Also, if you want my free masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only, before it comes down, an hour, I'm dropping gems. I went in way harder on that masterclass, by the way, than what I just went on how to actually attract alpha males only. Click the link right here. It's down. If you're on Facebook, it's right here. If you're on YouTube or whatever, maybe at the top, just look for the link. It'll say it, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. It'll take you over to the masterclass before it comes down, and you can watch over an hour of gems I dropped on how to attract alpha males. Holla at your lady.